Makoko was a city within a city, a place where wooden houses balanced precariously on stilts above the murky waters of Lagos Lagoon. The air smelled of salt, smoke, and something more elusive, secrets buried beneath the surface. Life here was a delicate balance between survival and surrender. For Amara Okoye, Makoko was home, though not by choice. She had lived here long enough to understand its unspoken rules, to know that hope was a luxury few could afford. But her 16-year-old daughter, Chioma, had never accepted that. The girl had dreams, wild and unshackled, stretching far beyond the narrow waterways and wooden walkways of their world. She wanted to be a journalist, to tell stories that mattered. But in a place like Makoko, curiosity could be deadly. Amara returned home late from the market, her arms aching from a long day of selling fish, only to find an unsettling silence waiting for her. The small shack she shared with Chioma felt hollow. The girl's school bag lay on the floor, unzipped, its contents spilling onto the wooden planks. The oil lamp flickered weakly, casting restless shadows against the walls. She called Chioma's name, at first gently, then louder. The silence stretched, thick and unmoving. A strange tightness settled in Amara's chest. She stepped outside, her breath coming faster as she scanned the narrow alleyways. People moved about their evening routines, unaware that her world was starting to unravel. She stopped neighbors, vendors, fishermen, anyone who might have seen her daughter. Their answers blurred together. No, they hadn't seen her since school. No, they didn't know where she had gone. By the time she reached the police station, her desperation had turned to something sharper. "She's just a girl," Amara pleaded. "She wouldn't run away." The officer on duty barely looked up. "Girls disappear all the time," he said, with the same indifference one might use to comment on the weather. Amara stared at him, her nails digging into her palms. She knew, then, that she was on her own. The first clue came from Chioma's best friend, Tolu. The girl was hesitant, her hands fidgeting in the folds of her oversized dress. She was asking questions, Tolu admitted. About the girls who went missing. A chill crawled over Amara's skin. "What girls?" Tolu hesitated. "Not just from Makoko. From other parts of Lagos, too." She thought something was happening to them. Amara felt her knees weaken. She said she was meeting someone. At the docks. Amara didn't wait for more. She ran. The dock stretched into the lagoon, a place where the water swallowed the light, turning everything into shifting shades of black. It was here that she found it, Chioma's phone, cracked and half-submerged in a puddle. She picked it up, hands trembling. The screen flickered weakly. One unread message glowed in the dark. She asked too many questions. "The river swallows those who dig too deep, ****. The air left Amara's lungs. Chioma had been taken. There was only one man in Makoko who might have answers. But seeking him out was a dangerous game. Baba Kazeem ruled the underworld of Makoko, his power stretching beyond the labyrinth of wooden houses, reaching into the city itself. His name was spoken in whispers, his presence felt in every illegal trade that passed through the waterways. She found him in a dimly lit room, the air thick with the scent of burning tobacco. He sat on a carved wooden chair, his scarred face impassive as he studied her. "You're either very brave or very foolish," he said, his voice deep and smooth, like a knife running across silk. "I need to find my daughter." A slow smirk curled his lips. "And why should I help you?" "Because you know where she is." Silence stretched between them before he leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees. There is a price for knowledge. She had expected this. What do you want? There's a package that needs delivering. Do it, and I'll give you a name. Amara didn't hesitate. The package was heavier than she expected, wrapped tightly in brown paper. She didn't ask what was inside. Some things were better left unknown. By the time she returned, Baba Kazeem was waiting, a slip of paper between his fingers. One name. Chief Odwale. A politician. A man with wealth, power, and, if the rumors were true, blood on his hands. Chioma had stumbled onto something she wasn't supposed to. And now, she was paying the price. Amara needed help. There was only one person she could turn to. Jide had once been a different man. He had walked dangerous paths, made choices he could never take back. But that was before. Now, he was a fisherman, a man trying to outrun his past. But he owed Amara a debt. And debts had to be repaid. Together, they traced the clues to an abandoned warehouse by the docks. It was there, hidden in the shadows, that they found them. The missing girls. Chioma was among them, her wrists bruised, her eyes hollow but alive. Amara barely had time to reach her before the traffickers appeared. The fight was brutal, desperate. Jide took on the men while Amara dragged Chioma toward the exit. Gunfire. A scream. Jide fell. But there was no time to grieve. Amara pulled Chioma into the night, into the maze of Makoko's waterways, as the world behind them burned. But Baba Kazeem had never planned to let them go. He was waiting for her on the rain-slicked docks, his kaftan billowing in the wind. His men flanked him, silent shadows. "This is where your story ends," he said. Amara's fingers tightened around the knife in her hand. She had come too far. Lost too much. She lunged. The struggle was violent, desperate. A clash of will, of fury, of grief. And then, suddenly, Baba Kazeem was falling. Tumbling into the black water. Gone. By morning, it was over. The police came too late. The trafficking ring would continue. The world would forget. But Amara wouldn't. Neither would Chioma. They left Makoko behind, but as they did, Chioma paused, watching as another young girl was led toward the same dark alley where she had once walked. The cycle wasn't over. Not yet. And Chioma wasn't done fighting.